from the series previous are going to now find themselves in winners round 2, where we should have a bit of a banger here between these two girls' teams. Because, yeah, we've got another best of 5, no control, and 2 very talented teams on the cards here. So don't really want to plant a flag, to be honest.
I mean, with a name like Vortex, mate, I was expecting this to take much, you know, a lot longer, but these guys are straight in, so the boys can take note. But yeah, obviously, we've been with the Noctem Strix scales and we've cast them so many times, we know what to expect. But Vortex, I think, are going to bring them a different challenge to what Crispy's Valkyries did. They've got players with a little bit more experience who've been playing a little bit longer and mixed it with a little bit more of the guys in the scene as well. So we should see, you know, a little bit more intelligent play. And you know what, Major? Straight out the blocks of protocol. So I like the idea that it's a little bit more thought-provoking, this map. But you say that and we go straight into a skyline after that. But yeah, I'm just intrigued the fact that we go straight into a map that might present some more interesting challenges than, say, just running into a you know, a skyline hardpoint or you know, a rewind hardpoint. So this could be interesting.
I'll tell you what could also be interesting. I think Codcaster might be working on this map. Ooh, what a win!
Hey, Merky, it's working from that.
Yeah, Mel's blessed us with the Irish luck. But it will be, yeah, Vortex Scarlets in red, Noctem Strix in their infamous light purple. And we'll see how they get going with our first time watching this map on hardpoint. So Merky, one of our more prestigious and favourites, must be said. Looking to try and lead the charge already, but Noctem Strix, they've already got that AR presence, Pabs in hand, Belterz and Tasha. They're obviously going to be 2 players that they're going to have to try and keep very, very quiet. Obviously, Viper as well with the AR in hand isn't exactly shabby. So it's just going to be one where if they don't keep these AR players quiet, which it looks as though they're really struggling to do already, this might be a brutal map 1.
Yeah, 36-0 right now. The team in Vortex Scarlet's just really struggling at the minute, and we have got a little bit of Merky bias, but that's to be expected. But yeah, it's just really got to get it to grips with some of the players. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because we've seen a lot of the Noctem Strix girls doing really well as individuals, but once they start working together and they've got control of lanes and got control of areas, this is where you start to see them really look kind of really tidy. So Noctem Strix just complete control of the map so far. Wow. And this is going to just mean that P2 is going to be huge for Vortex.
Yeah, P1nkViper looking for another chow. Valaweeee's going to be upstairs, and she has no idea that she's going to fly around at that exact moment in time, and she's going to punish her for it. Merky going to look to try and work her way up towards the hill, which she's able to do. She slips through the net. Not going to be enough, though. And she's going to be running the C9, actually, which isn't a common gun that we tend to see in the comp scene. Valaweeeee going to fly on and at least try and soak up a little bit of time, because they are just starting to leak quite a substantial amount of time in favour of Noctem Strix at the moment. Abby going to look for the chow onto Belterz, flies off the top rope, and Rob Van Dam styles her in good fashion. But you've still got a few players on the side of Noctem Strix inside the hill, locked in. Merky going to chow on towards the stairs, gets the information that those players are there. But now she's going to need a little bit of help here if they're going to manage to break these people out.
Yeah, P3 had already started to break when they were trying to get into position. So this is going to be a huge break, and it is going to be the ladies from Noctem Strix looking kind of tight at the minute, but they've managed to allow the team of Vortex Scarlets to kind of get some control, and that's a huge kill from Amara. Manages to take Viper down with Belterz as ever on the flank, just trying to get around the back, and she's going to cause some problems. One shot. Oh, but the second one's windy. Amara puts it into the blender, and now it's going to be advantage to Vortex Scarlets, Major. And this is now a 40-second game.
Yeah, really good strong hold. You already start to look to potentially when they might rotate over towards P3. Big win from Abby in towards middle map is going to just enable a little bit of pressure to be alleviated. Amara's going to get a pick as well, so the kill feed looking a little bit better if you are a Vortex Scarlet fan. You've still got Abby alive here. And it might be another gunfight when she's able to win. No, Tasha shuts her down. So new hill pops in the infamous underground bunker as Amara flies in alongside her teammate. P1nkViper going to look to try and drop through double doors. And now, here comes the flood. Valaweeeee watching her lane. She goes down. P1nkViper flying around for a potential second. Surely her teammate is going to get the trade, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So Vortex Scarlets, they do manage a really good job of getting a lot of time on that previous hill, but now they are struggling just ever so slightly, Pabs, of breaking this one.
Yeah, I didn't realise that the Kelly hadn't reloaded, and she went to handgun, or was a Viper, sorry, and I was like, how did she die? So that's so weird, but I know she hadn't reloaded. But yeah, that was a nice break, but right now, can kind of team of Noctem Strix hold on to that. It is going to be a back and forth, though, as these players do try and get control, and it is going to be advantage to the ladies in Lilac. So big kills there from Amara, though. She makes me eat words, and she's going to get a little bit of scrap time that is remaining, as we do see that P1 in the second rotation pop, and already Belterz just there, already around there, just causing problems, just absolutely nailing this team. Right now, it is another 25-second game, but not Violet's Vortex Scarlet's Major doing a brilliant job of just managing to stay within touching distance of this team.
Yeah, they have slowed down the likes of P1nkViper, who is still looking very good at 13 and 8, it must be said, but if they can just alleviate the ability that Noctem Strix have got on this team, scoreline will look very, very generous to them if they can do it. So the contest comes through from Merky, flies around the corner, gets a good bit of timing, and able to pick Kelly off. Not able to stay alive, though, which might come back to bite her, because Belterz has now managed to get back on the time. And this was the hill pabs in the first rotation that they managed to get such a substantial chunk of time on. And it looks as though they're going to try and emulate that exact thing again.
Yeah, I think obviously the geography doesn't lend itself to the opposite spawn, just being able to get to that point at the same time. So this time round, just a little bit more of an even keel for Vortex, who are able to get there, but Kelly just dominating that middle section. She is going to need to be dealt with. Amara is going to be there. Amara definitely a player to watch out for. She's absolutely dominating proceedings for Vortex and AbiPiinK, 16 and 12 as well. She was on a 5 streak. I think that's just been taken off, and that'll bode well for the team of Noctem. But at 109 to 124 from that initial 45-second lead that Noctem Strix got, this has become a hell of a game. And right now, Vortex Scarlet's going toe-to-toe in every sense of the word.
Yeah, and the likes of Abby, who have really come to life here in the middle portion of the map alongside Amara. It's just ever so slightly positive saying that, though. Sorry, cast cars there straight onto Amara in all fashion. But Abby turns around, nice shots to grab another pick. Going to be another one over towards Tower, a gunfight on towards Tasha. And the trophy's going to do a good job of keeping her alive from any sort of nades coming through. But unfortunately, she will go down eventually. And it is going to be down to them to try and break back in again. Nades over towards the top is going to collide alongside some shots, but isn't going to be enough to clean up the two players. But the pinch is coming through here from Abby. Is she going to check the right-hand corner? Yes, she is. The pinch is good. Amara takes down one as well. But no time going to go on the board, but it is just going to allow them to progress up the map as they try and push in towards the next hill. You've got Belterz still alive in the back, and the pinch now is going to try and just slowly form from the front side of the hill. So if they hit this quickly, they might be able to get a good job of it. There's DutchKellie flying in with 2. Is it going to be enough to clear all of them out? You've still got Valaweeeee alive, but she goes down. Belterz now going to have to try and hold the front of 4, but those purple arrows are now completely in the back.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be good time. Now, Merky with a nice opportunity. She needs to get this kill out wide, but she needs to break in and get that second kill. She has to get that kill. Belterz, though, too quick for her, and poor Mel gets into the blender, but she's done just enough to allow her team to break back in. This is going to be a big kill from Amara, who manages to get the slide and hip fire, which is a difficult skill at the best of times, and already looking to move on to the next kill. So big thought and big play coming out of Vortex and Major. They have flipped this game on its head as it's about to get tied up from a lead.
Oh, good trade there from Merky. 159 plays 160. Nice work from Mel again. He's slowly starting to warm up a little bit now. Maybe chilly hands for the little Irish woman. And she's now looking to try and just work her way up those numbers. And her teammates still doing a good job around her. Look at the pinch though from P1nkViper, but it's not going to be enough. Valaweeeee just spins around and takes her out. And trophies are now going to help them out a hell of a lot inside this hill with how difficult it can be to stay alive. But they're looking to try and nade the front of 4 to stop any sort of pressure from coming through. And now, how many kills can they potentially get on? There's 2 players coming through from that spiral staircase. And every single one of them is slowly starting to fall. So this hill looking very, very generous here to the girls in red.
Yeah, just done so well over the last few hills. This second rotation has been an a dominant performance. Actually, it might even be the third. I'm absolutely trolling here at this minute. Kelly does try and drop out the top window, but it's going to be Valaweeeee who's there to put it into the blender. 204 plays 160. Strix completely on the back foot. You know, you talk about whether you're going to be warmed up or going cold into a game. Well, they couldn't ask for a better warm-up match than Crispy Valkyries, but right now it is Vortex Scarlets with the advantage, and on to this P5, I think it is, or we onto the 4th rotation, P1, we are indeed. So it is going to be another big moment. And again, we talk about that first rotation where Vortex, really did struggle, but Major since then they've just done really well on this P1. So this could be a defining moment in this series.
Well, Mel gets taken down in mid. They're still managing to keep people alive on the time. Big kill there from P1nkViper to at least stop that clock from just being pushed out. But there's somebody straight back on it again in the form of Mel. Is just going to be laying prone, waiting for someone to at least force her off of it. Those purple arrows now looking to try and flood in. Kelly in towards mid. Belterz, nice work. Able to get a pick. You can see now that Mel's just going to have to reposition a little bit. But through all of this carnage that's been going on, she's just been slowly pushing that timer out for her team. Kelly's going to completely ignore it and just try and push towards the building. But Mel gets the kill regardless. And now look at the rotation from those arrows in red. Vortex Scarlets, they are completely ready to go for this hill. Everyone on the side of Noctem Strix are trying to work their way in. Mel works the pinch. They will not touch this hill. And it will be Vortex Scarlets who are able to take map number 1. I'll tell you what, Pabs, the first start of the phase of that game wasn't great for them, but they completely ran away with that. 250, 174.
Merky just went prime Celium and just read the game, got the time, got the kills, went round the back, got more kills. She just couldn't be stopped. The big brains, the big plays, the big guns as well. So huge plays coming out of Vortex, puts them on the front foot, puts Noctem Strix firmly on the back foot, and they're going to have to do something in a round 2 S&D, which they didn't do in the previous game. And we've seen standout performances. AbiPiinK 28 and 20 with 23 non-traded kills. Star performance, stellar performance out of the rest of the side as well. 250 to 174. Noctem Strix, pressure applied. What can you do to answer back?
Well, that's the infamous question, mate. And I say the hard point on the last series was very good to them in the fact that they managed to take, I think it was map 1 and no, sorry, it was map 1 and 4 that they managed to take against Crispy Valkyries, and now they've already dropped a hard point. So that's a very, very good opening start for the girls of Vortex Scarlets. And you look ahead to the series, Pabs, and obviously Skyline hard point. Noctem Strix were able to take it against Crispy Valkyries 250-214. But again, because we know how messy that map is, it's not exactly something where you can look at a team and go, right, they're bang out going to be the favourites for this map. So, I mean, Search and Destroy, it's slightly different game mode, but it is very much a case of it's very first blood heavy. The engagements are quick, and those ARs really need to try and work their first bloods on this one.
Yeah, I think this is going to be, vital as well. I've just been handed a pack of wine gums as well. My son, thank you very much. Sugar rush. But yeah, I think it's a weird one. This again, I'm going to kind of err towards kind of likes of Kelly, get the roots that are required to surprise the other team and bring, the much needed aggression that I think Strix need in this S&D, or are they going to suffer at the hands of a much more cautious, much more pragmatic approach from the girls of Vortex? I actually don't know, because we haven't had a lot of time with this Search and Destroy on Skyline to really see how teams figure it. We know it's quite open across the middle. We know that you can get sight from Jacuzzi right across. I mean, both ways, almost on the X and the Y axis, you can get information across the map. So really, is it about who gets to those kind of big pressure point, big godhead kind of areas first? Who knows the routes quickest? Who's got the best setup? It's all these little tiny details that can go a long way to winning a round. So Noctem Strix, they were kind of Jekyll and Hyde. They got themselves a 4-0, and then they tried to lose the map as best they could and eventually managed to win it out in the previous game. So what kind of performance will we see from them? Very much a Jekyll and Hyde team in S&D.
Yeah, and I think one of the girls is just restarting their PC potentially, and I don't really know how long this might take. So what I'll do is, because I might try and do some quick graphics in the background, because Kate has only just sent me their logo and said, by the way, we have a logo. Well, I didn't know that. So I might try and sort something out very quickly in the background so that she doesn't moan at me about the whole series, because I haven't got their team's logo on the screen, because it is her org as well. And Sack wants a major But yeah, what we'll do, guys, I'll throw it to a break. Pab's can eat his wine gums. You can grab snacks, and when we come back, we will have that map 2 on your screen.
Can I go for a poo?
Yes, you can go for a poo. ladies and gents? Welcome back. We're here in Search and Destroy in round number 2, or winners round number 2, should I say, between Noctem, Strix and Vortex Scarlet. And Kate gave me loads of shit because I didn't have her team's all graphics sorted out, so I've tried to sort it out in rapid fashion. So hopefully she actually says thank you rather than bullying me all the time. But we're now here in map number 2. Vortex Scarlet's obviously taking map number 1, Pabs 250 to 174. Looks very, very good for their money, it must be said, and they're looking very, very good here in the opening round because Tasha is all alone and feeling very blue.
I mean, I just don't want to be up against any Noctem Strix player in a 1v2, but Vortex looking very capable dealing with that straight out the blocks and just going from where they left off in the hard points. Total control by AbiPiinK again. Going huge. She was the dominant player in the hard points, and now she's the dominant player on this S&D and Skyline. Controls the area, doesn't let Belterz AbiPiinK or anyone from Strix through, and that is going to be 1-0 breadstick acquired for the girls of Vortex Scarlet. Nice little bit of a change of Rooney there from Mr. Chafin, but yeah, just let's just see if Strix can fight back.
Yeah, well,
what have they got in the locker?
Let's see what they got. Well, Abby had a really, really good map one, must be said. And Cherry all with follow. Thank you very much, Cherry. But Abby, really good map one. Oof, I'll tell you what, Viper's absolutely eviscerated her. I don't know if she got team shot there, but she got absolutely melted. And unfortunately for us, Codcaster has decided to go back to its infamous roots of not working. So we're going to have to try and go back to assuming who is who. But in the meantime, gunfight's on the site. DutchKellie able to get one. Ooh, and Kelly gets the second as well. Noctem Strix completely controlling that site. And it will be a round on the ball for them, one apiece. Yeah,
whatever Vortex can do, the Strix ladies can do just as well. I think Kelly enjoys this map. She looked great in the hard point, and this kind of bar area just lends itself to really good SMG play. You've got so much cover. If you kind of know it really well, you can just move instinctively around it, so you don't need to, like, where am I at any given point? You know, like a striker knows the ins and outs of a penalty box in the same kind of fashion. They just know what corners to peek, where they are at any given time. And Kelly proves it with a nice, simple couple of kills to get that game all tied up. It is going to come down to this first blood, though. Can it be tied up? Tasha is going to do a top job there to make this a 3v3.
A second one for Tasha as well, and this is what happens on this map. It gets messy, and Valaweeeee now finds herself needing a 1 versus 3. Kelly's all the way out the back of her spawn here. I don't think she's going to read this. Oh, did she hear the window smash? I think Kelly's got her headset cranked, or maybe not. Oh no, she spotted her now, and Kelly gets the kill. So 2 very, very quick rounds from Noctem Strix. And all of a sudden, they go 2-1 up. And yeah, I think we're slowly starting to see, Pabs, what this map is in Search and Destroy. It is very opening, engagement heavy. And then it usually ends a case of one team has been absolutely leathered because they're not necessarily as quick on the trades as the other. But 2 rounds in a row for Noctem. They're going to be happy with that one, obviously, after dropping map number 1. They've got a lot of influence now that they need to try and put on this one. And 2 good rounds on the board now. And the girls streaking at the moment, 8 between 3 of them.
I think this kind of map lends itself to players haven't figured out a route straight away. So, you know, the SMG is like, I'm going to go this way, provide me with support. If we get the first blood, it's great. And I think it's that kind of play that lends itself. And right now, I think Vortex does exactly that, where they get a player push forward, they get the pick, get 2 picks, and it's going to be Viper who manages to get 1 shot on an exposed player. But that's now a 3v2 situation. And that's exactly what happened in the previous round.
Well, P1nkViper on her lonesome. Is she going to check this left corner where Valaweeee's holding the angle? Probably not. But this next pick's going to be the all-important one, unfortunately. Flies round onto Amara. Oh, no! The shots aren't... They're not crispy. They're not Rice Krispies. And unfortunately, that round goes in the way of Vortex Scarlet's there. And Amara will see the snap here. The bullet's kind of hitting the partition behind her. Makes no mistake about it. And this is the level of COD where female COD's at, Pabs. If you miss your bullets, the girls will punish you for it.
Oh yeah, mate. Didn't we play with Pre last year for a little bit in ranked, and I was just like, I'm gonna get carried again. Here we go again, just getting carried one more time. I just get used to it, not being able to shoot straight, and these girls are just absolutely dominating. But I did feel like there was a bit of a hit reg issue there because he didn't seem that windy, to be fair, but she gets punished nonetheless. And a player we talked about a little bit in that hard point was Amara, who was incredible at times. So is that someone that we're going to see go absolutely huge? It's 2-2 right now. It's big plays coming out of Vortex. They've got first blood again, and they've got that second pick. So right now it is going to be Strix on the back foot.
Yeah, well, Merky is slowly working her way on a bit of a pinch. I believe it's her. Oh, all of a sudden now Belterz is alone. Don't think she's going to make the read that Merky's going to be here very, very quickly. And no, she won't. So Merky gets the kill, and it will be another round on the board here for the girls of Vortex Scarlet. So 2 rounds looking very, very good to Strix all of a sudden, Pabs, and then you find the likes of Merky and the girls just kind of adapting to what Noctem have been doing, and they do look very, very confident now over towards that bar area. They keep getting the picks. Obviously, we've seen the likes of Belterz over the years running AR. Now, obviously, she's finding herself on a map where she has to pretty much run sub. Not necessarily the most comfortable role for her, and Vortex Scarlets with the likes of Merky and those girls on that team looking very comfortable in the SMG role.
Yeah, really, really do look comfortable, and at times confident as well, pushing through mid, looking for angles, leaving themselves exposed with confidence in their gunplay, which is really good. It is going to be a first blood for Strix though, but that can't get tied up straight away. So a 3v3, Merky. Oh, she was so close to getting shot in the behind, and then manages to nearly get shots on Tasha's behind. So very, very close here, and just gives you an idea of how tight the margins are in this game. Sometimes Merky with a big kill there. That's huge plays right there. She puts a player right in the blender. Kelly now in a 1v3 advantage. Vortex Scarlet, they've been exceptional so far in this game.
Well, I remember the days when Mel's hit reg used to be horrendous with her comp, but she's absolutely fried her there, and they take them down yet again. Vortex Scarlets with another round puts them 2 to the good, 4-2 up. And I think the aggression there from Mel just paid absolute dividends for them. We'll see another kill coming through from her right at the end of it. Right at the business end, on to Kelly, her SMG counterpart. And Vortex Scarlets again with another strong round. So it's... we don't like to say make or break rounds, Pabs, but obviously the round that usually leads to that important 5th one is the one that tends to be the do or die for a lot of these girls' teams. And it is going to be one where Merky now finds herself 4 in a row, looking very, very confident. She's warmed up. The little Irish woman's warmed up, and she's pretty much showing the girls how it's done here on the search.
Really enjoying themselves so far, 5-4, and just having their way with Noctem Strix right now. And again, they've got to really avoid going 5-2 down. That number 5 is such a big psychological barrier. And Viper just trying to take this nice little corner hit, but is she going to hit by T-Teams? Information is going to go out. She's going to get shot in the back. That is going to be taken down. So it is going to be Vortex Scarlet who managed to get a kill. It's going to be 2v3 though, with advantage to Strix as DutchKellie looks to try and transition around those players. But is the timing going to be absolutely perfect for it? It is indeed. She gets one. That's going to leave Valaweeeee in a 1v2.
Well, Valaweee's got a free pick here onto site if she challenges the bomb. She's right next to her. Oh my god, she's run straight past her. Omni movement out the back. Oh, she's going to do well to stay alive here. The girls just absolutely swarm her out of that one. And Noctem Strix take a very, very important round. Some bad luck there for Valaweeeee. Just not able to spot that she was on the bomb site. And Noctem Strix shot Cora. Just going to punish her for a little bit of misfortune on that occasion. So 4-3. Still back and forth. And, I mean... it honks of around 11 Pabs on this one. I can't really lie, mate. I don't know what your thoughts are so far, though.
Yeah, it's definitely got the odour of a round 11 and sweaty palms and sweaty bum cheeks. But Vortex Scarlet is still, you would say, have got that in the tank where they might be able to just dominate this. They've kind of fell off a little bit. I love the way it just says dash has bomb. But yeah, it is going to be Valaweeeee with that. So big DutchKellie just potentially going to have some great opportunity to get a 2-piece. It gets that second, not able to get to finish it off. So it is only going to be Merky and Valaweeeee right now. AbiPiinK and Amara. It is going to see AbiPiinK go the way of the next round. She's got to go huge here. Amara not able to do it. And Strix Major are looking very, very good.
Yeah, it's just those first bloods just seem to be make or break for the girls at the moment on both of the respective teams. It feels as though we've had a few rounds now where both teams have dropped 2, maybe 3 in the space of about 10-15 seconds. We know the opening engagements are very, very quick on this map, but they are proving to pay absolute dividends here for whichever team comes out on top of them at the moment. DutchKellie still going strong. 6-4 from her, obviously on a map, very close quarters. This is going to be absolutely in her element. And Tasha doing a good job as well, combining the 6 in a row between the 2 of those ladies. So it's just a question of where those first bloods lie. And it's, again, going to be another one. This time, Abby's going to fall on the side of Vortex Scarlets. And now Noctem are going to look to try and just completely swamp this site and get this bomb down.
Yeah, this is going to be a big moment for the gals of Vortex Scarlets. The slight disadvantage as Merky goes into the next round. You can see Kelly just again holding that angle, very patient in gym, just looking to get as much information as possible. A little bit of support going to come in via Valaweeeee. But again, Kelly just holding strong for that push out towards mid, where she might be able to take a player by surprise with the support from Tasha. And it's going to be Amara now looking to try and get a little bit of information. The only information she's got so far is that Valaweeeee is going to put someone in the blender. It's going to be a 3v2. AbiPiinK all on her own. Can she get this pick? No, she can't. She's back. She does it with the handgun. Is it going to be able to get it in time? I think she's just about got it. Vortex Scarlet's AbiPiinK goes huge there, 10-4 major for the defuse and puts her team into the lead.
Oh my god, I'm pretty sure that was the ace as well, by the way. What a round there out of Abby. Jesus. Skating in the bar section of the map. We'll see it here at the end. A little bit of back and forth with Tasha, a pistol in hand. Straight to the dome. And a big round there. The Vortex Scarlets, because if they're going to look to try and push this series out, perhaps 5-4 now, looking very, very good to them.
I think this next first blood, if they get this first blood, it could be absolute game over for Noctem Strix, getting into the game 3-2-0 down. But they will be heading into a hard point, so we know how capable those players can be in respawn mode. So AbiPiinK looking to get a bit of information across middle right now. No one with the first blood. Very tentative plays. Very confident play. You see a few shots come out. Belterz manages to get that first blood, but she's going to get traded straight out, Major. And it's 3v3 as we approach the 1 minute mark.
Nades out. Amara gets a big pick. This isn't looking good. It's now on P1nkViper and DutchKellie to clutch up here. Viper's got a good bit of timing, actually. She's pushed herself through top bridge and might be able to come on the back of a few here. There's the info. Spots Merky. There's a free pick, but now her teammate drops. So it's now going to be all on P1nkViper. She's got to work the 1 versus 2 hit. They're looking to chal her out. Oh, and Abby doesn't miss. Abby takes her down. Vortex Scarlets take that map 6-4. And now they find themselves on the precipice of taking down Noctem Strix here in winners round 2 in a 3-0.
Take a bow, AbiPiinK, 12-4 with an ace to boot. Incredible plays. Cannot be spot despite the gymnastics coming out of Belterz and P1nkViper. Not able to secure that round 6-4 and big plays. AbiPiinK, the stats really not supporting her. The 8 non-traded is probably accurate though, and it was a big performance to put them 2-0 up. Noctem Strix really on the back foot now. Got to go big. I believe it's a vault hardpoint next, so really got to go absolutely huge in this kind of like very unusual map, especially when you consider the amount of elevation there is in those back pod areas, art areas. So vault could be very interesting, but right now they're on the back foot, and Vortex Scarlets just look amazing.
Yeah, they look very, very good, and the more important thing for them is that they managed to just clutch up in those big rounds. Obviously, we saw the impact that Abby was able to make in that search and destroy. When you got somebody going 12-4 in a search, it just makes your life so much easier. And when you're looking across the talent in that team, if you've got one player that's able to pop off, normally you'd anticipate that the other 3 will be able to pick up the pieces, and that's exactly what they managed to do. Obviously 250-174 as we've just seen on the screen there in map 1. And Noctem Strix, still at the moment, obviously perhaps it's very early days, but a little bit hit and miss from these girls. We know the ability that they've got, and obviously the slight changes in the roster that they have tweaked from a couple of their players. From what we saw at the end of MW3, but I think it's just one of those, isn't it? We're at the stage of the game where things are going to be new. They're going to be trying out new strats. There's a lot to learn at the opening of let alone a new COD, but a new set of maps, a new engine. It's just one of those where you've got a lot of opportunity to improve it, especially in the early stages of it. And we know how hard the Noctem girls work in some of these plays, so it wouldn't surprise me if, say, off the back of if they do get knocked out of this tournament, that they'd come back straight away flying and looking a hell of a lot better than they did the last time we saw them.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's early in the season. Obviously, the reps that people are getting on is coordinated. You tend to favour certain maps, and I think you have to build up an encyclopedic knowledge of each map. And no one's there at this point in time. Maybe Steve Vortex's team might be there. They've got a long history of working harder than anyone else. But right now, most players, we've got the time to put into the game. they're still at that learning stage, especially on the maps that people don't like. And the other problem is you largely feel like you got to hedge your bets a little bit because you don't know what maps are going to stay in the rotation, and you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and find that basket gets thrown out the window and replaced with Hacienda or something really early doors. So again, you know, Vortex Scarlet's looking strong, but this could be the point now where Noctem Strix are like, well, Volt's our map. We're going to bring this back to 2-1. We're going to see how this goes and, you know, get this at least to a game 4. That's their aim right now, is to make sure that they're playing a game 4.
Yeah. So, double hard point up on the board for us. And it's the first time we've seen a Vault hard point ever. We saw the Search and Destroy on it, Pabs, in terms of one-dimensional. It does feel like it's a map that's a hell of a lot better in hard point than it is in Search. So we'll see how this one goes. But regardless, they're going to need the big hitters, Pabs. They're going to need the likes of Belterz, P1nkViper. We've seen her have some really big maps. Obviously, Kellie's had some good ones, and Tasha as well. So across the board, we know the ability that these girls have got. It's just a case of pulling it all together, really.
Where the hell's P1?
P1,
oh, right in the middle.
In mid-map, mate. You're right.
I was just like, I was having a look at the call-out map, and I was like, they've not listed P1. It's right in the middle. It must be. I assumed it was right in the middle, but like, I just lost my mind. I did warn you that I'd be learning this as we go along. But yeah, I've played this in pubs. But you play pubs? Do I play the objective all the time? Not necessarily. But yeah, this is going to be a big moment for Noctem Strix, and they're already on the struggle bus as the girls of Vortex Scarlet already look to acclimatise a 30-second lead. Merky has been an incredible game, but stay on point with this AbiPiinK, who's just been absolutely stellar for the last 2 maps, and right now it is advantage Vortex. But Noctem Strix can never be written off, especially when you've got players as talented as TashaEU Valaweeeee, Belterz and DutchKellie. So it is still a bit of a struggle bus for them. They are getting a little bit of time. Major, this is one thing I would suggest that Noctem Strix do very well, is they can get kind of outslain, but they make sure that they're getting time, so you never feel like you get really far away from them in terms of time.
Oh, that timing is horrendous for Mel. She's going to be furious with that one.
Yeah.
But it will be. Noctem out the back, as you say, Pabs. Their rotations, especially when they know what's going on the map, do tend to be very, very clean. Noctem Strix, very much a team of fundamentals from what we've seen over the last coming months, especially Abby looking to try and prove to be a thorn in their side once more. But Vortex Scarlet still with a little bit of a lead as we get ready over towards hill number 3. And around a 10-point advantage there or thereabouts. I've noticed as well in Conquest, it doesn't tell you how long's left of the hill previously as well, which is really useful for us when we're trying to dissect some information while casting.
Mate.
Yeah.
I spent like the first half point just going, what the hell is going on? It got onto the fact that I'm just waiting for the other one to pop, like the lock to appear on the screen. I'd be like, there's 10 seconds of scrap time left. But yeah, it's so frustrating right now, like the lack of information for the casters in terms of just being able to tell you guys the story. But we roll with the punches. We've had worse than this, and still not made enough complaints. So we'll see how it goes. It is a very close game. 12 seconds in at Vortex Scarlet with a slender advantage. Tasha is going to take down AbiPiinK. The trade is going to be out, but Tasha's going to be there for that retrade, and she's going absolutely off right now. She's 7 and 8, but expect that to go positive fairly soon. She does kind of peek her head out a little bit too much, but she's still rocking it and rolling. Merky with a big kill as we had a 10-second advantage to Vortex, but it is going to be Noctem Strix who are going to bring this right back. We already see that the next hill has popped, so it is only going to be scrap time, Major, heading into this P4. An advantage to no one right now. Yeah,
the back spawns are going to be the all-important ones. Amara notices that, though, and the shot's really good with the GPR in her hands. And it's going to be... I don't know whether it was Abby or whether it was... I think it might have been Mel that just got that 2-piece that we saw on the screen. Shout out Codcaster again for just helping us make things difficult. But another pick comes through. Yeah, it's Mel that was able to get that big 2-piece. So this is really, really good stuff here from Vortex Scarlets. The emphasis out the back is looking very, very useful to them. Amara trying to play her life. She's going to get naded and stunned, but P1nkViper is going to get caught on the cross. Ew! And the shots from Amara, crispy as you like. Able to take down 2. Kelly might have the same impact as well, potentially. Able to get a pick. Needs to try and close the distance and try and spawn some of these players out, which she does now do. So they are going to start to spawn over towards that backside of Paul. And now Merky going to try and hold down the front of Fort while the Noctem girls try and flood in. But it looks to be to no avail. Belterz with a big 1-versus-1 now up against Merky. She's got a lot of doors to watch. Mel with 1. Oh, can't quite get the second. But the damage is done. Look at the score line now, Pabs.
Yeah, they're already starting to just get ready for P1. They're set up for any push right the way through mid. So Valaweeeee just looking to try and get control. But again, she gets taken down. She manages to get the pick, and it's going to be AbiPiinK with a strong two-piece, and Vortex
Mel.
Scarlet still in control right now. Major, that is going to be a 60-second lead or more, 65-second
Oh my
lead.
God.
So right now, Noctem Strix on the struggle bus. And potentially, Major, this rotation is going to be all important as they stare down the battle of a potential 3-0.
Yeah, well, Tasha's going all the way around the back with her teammate Belterz. Nice shots there. 2 HP and a dream is what she's going to be left with. She's not going to check this right corner, so she should go down. Yep, she does. Tasha, though, out the back already, getting ready for this P2. So Noctem Strix putting a lot of emphasis on these back spawns, but you can see now that lead the Vortex Scarlets have got off the back of, again, another good P1 is now going to lead them trailing by 100 points that they're going to have to close. And you can see it will be a bit of scrap time that goes in their favour, but the back spawns now is what they're leaning on, and the back spawns is what they're really going to have to rely on. So Amara going to put some shots into P1nkViper, who's going to try and play her life. Abby just going to wide peek it. Got to be careful not to get taken down here. Trophy's going to keep P1nkViper alive just for now, but you can see that Merky's got herself on the hill. She's been a thorn in their side this whole map long. Mel just keeps hitting root, and it keeps working for her. Her team now find themselves back in the time, soaking it up. And if they can get these kills in the back, it's going to be so difficult for them to regain spawns. Everyone drops, and look where those purple arrows are now.
Right, if you see me in the lobby with Mel, you know full well I'm just trying to get tips, just trying to learn how to play the game again. But Merky on a 5-3, absolutely dominating right now. Vortex Scarlet's just turned so many of those kills into such good time as well. It's 120-second lead, approaching 120-second lead, I should say, and it's been incredible performances across the board from every member of Vortex Scarlet so far. Strix so far off the pace, you can imagine that things starting to get maybe a little bit tense, and it's going to be AbiPiinK up top with that AR just causing absolute carnage, as it's going to be down to one player there. It is going to be just manages to get the pick, nearly gets away with a life. Kelly not able to do it, and some going to be Viper trying to get that suppressive fire down, Major, but not able to do it. And it's going to be Belterz just trying to cause problems. Vortex Scarlet's not able to get absolutely anywhere near this right now, and this, Major, could be the turning point in this game for Noctem Strix.
Yeah, they need this hill, and they need a huge chunk of time. But again, you've got to look towards the rotation on the next hill as well. Noctem Strix have got the good side of spawns for it, but Amara's back on the time, and now they're going to edge their way close to that 200-point mark. And I mean, how many times perhaps have we seen these maps where teams are looking very, very good, but all it takes is maybe 3 or 4 consistent hills of scrap time, and the other team, because they're only about 50-40 points away from it, they're just able just to see it over the line, no matter how scrappy the other team makes it.
Yeah, the goal, it's that golden ratio, isn't it, where you just know you don't need to worry about getting done for a hill. You just get the scrap time, and you're over the point. And that was largely the argument against Parasite's 40-20, because that always left you in a position where you could still get, surprised by one good kill. They get 60 seconds, you're screwed. When you've got a 200-point lead or a 150-point lead, you kind of can put your feet off a little bit. P1nkViper's got to go huge. And largely the problem is that the girls in Noctem Strix have got to do this almost immaculately now, like perfect hard point.
Amara, big 2-piece. Oh, can't quite get the biscuit on top of it. So, Noctem Strix digging their heels in, but again, they've got to try and just stop Vortex Scarlets from just taking second after second away from them. P1nkViper up top, not going to be clean shots, so it will be a case that Noctem Strix survive another day by the looks of it. Kelly going to transition over, but P1, this is what Vortex Scarlets have banked so much time on over the first 2 rotations, and now they're going to look to try and do it again. Mel slowed down a little bit here in the latter portion of the map, but P1 has popped. Somebody's going to surely get on the time. It's going to be Amara. Mel's going to look to try and help her out, and now Noctem Strix, they've got to go in the front, and they've got to try and get these kills.
Yeah, and I think they've got this right. They've gone around from the side, and it's almost a pinch, but they've got to read this now, because the rest of that Vortex team are going to come in from a number of different entry points. Merky with the first pick, the second pick. Merky's been immaculate. It does say AbiPiinK, but it wasn't. It was indeed Mel, but that's going to be huge. She's also read this to perfection. That's going to be another big pick. She is dominating this game and allowing her team to soak up so much time. 20 seconds required to see this as a 3-0. Viper's going to do everything she can. Anything Merky can do, Viper can do as well. But they need so much time now to bring this back. Perfect hard point required.
You can see Mel was just get those crisps in, brother. I can hear that. Valaweeeee out the back, shots. Crispy again. And now they've got to try and flood through. Kelly's in the time. Tasha's watching out the back. And look at those purple arrows just going to be watching over the front side of the hill. But now, Kelly turns around. Nope. Never mind. Nothing's going to come of it because Tasha's going to just hold that lane really well. And that's a 5 streak now for Tasha. That's a big set of kills coming through. And they're still stopping them from pushing out the back. But now Mel gets the all-important pick. You can see that Kelly's going to reposition. Legs akimbo like she's giving birth in the bathroom. And now in come those players. Everyone goes out. Everyone goes down. Tasha now finds herself in such a horrible spot. They've got to try and get across no man's land over towards Paul. They're soaking up the time. 10 seconds is all they need. These purple arrows have got to flood. Otherwise, they're going down to the losers bracket. Valaweeeee shooing through players that are trying to transition while keeping her head down on the time. Someone's got to chow. Nobody's getting the kills. It seems as though Valaweeeee gets the final pick on the time, and that is that. Vortex Scarlets will 3-0 Noctem Strix. They looked very good on that map. 251-37.
Yeah, just the losers bracket for DutchKellie, not motherhood on the Saturday night. So 250 to 137 again. Just so much work to do for the girls of Noctem Strix. Not able to do it in the end. And big performances coming out of Merky and out of AbiPiinK. The team looked immaculate for the whole series. 3-0. Looking very much like the favourites at the minute. But yeah, huge plays coming out of every single player, but you've just got to look, Merky. 31 and 21, 23 non-traded kills, and just a stellar performance. And at times really smart. She was flanking, she was going around the back of the team and managing to get herself not just 1-2 kills, but 3 and 4 kills time and again. Her reaction time was absolutely on point, and she read the game perfectly at times, and that's what you need. And Vortex Scarlets 3-0 Noctem Strix in, you know, a surprising fashion. We've seen these Strix girls before dominate any team that's put in front of them. Well, not tonight. Vortex Scarlets are going to march on the upper bracket, and Noctem Strix are going to find themselves in that losers bracket run. And an infamous bit of commentary in here from Major Chapin.
Well, it's going to be a case. So we are staying on board with Vortex Scarlets. We've just heard. So Ashley, Rain, Lola, Emmy, and Abby have managed to push through. So they are actually in that that winners final, which will be tomorrow. But we are going to stay on board with Vortex Scarlets, who will play X-Force Royals in the next game. So what we'll do, guys, obviously you guys can see the clips there. We'll look at the confirmed scores in the end. But it will be Vortex Scarlets looking very, very good. And here she is, the lady of the moment, Mel, who's just casually dropped over 30 kills on the bonds of Noctem Strix. So Noctem Strix, they are going to drop down into that losers bracket, and they will play Girls Spawned In, which is Ems and the girls. So a very, very good game, that one, actually. I'll be interested to see who comes out on top of that one, because, again, very, very talented rosters on both respective teams. But we'll see here at the end here, where it's just a case of, unfortunately, for Noctem Strix, they just gave themselves a little bit too much to do, but we've got no fear that those guys will come back stronger, potentially, if it's in this tournament or potentially the next. But there's a confirmed 3-0 from the girls of Vortex Scarlets, and we'll now look towards that next game, Pabs. But at the moment, Pabs, obviously, good position for women's COD at the moment. Again, a lot of talented players on the screen across a lot of teams. Not necessarily all of them the same of what we saw at the end of MW3. We know kind of there's a bit of a bedding in process with new CODs, new teams. So it's just good to have a broad plethora, word of the day, of female COD really on the screen again.
Yeah, I think honestly, last year was the real kind of like year where they were able to cement themselves as being, you know, a proper force. And you know, we'd seen at times individual female players come through, and we've obviously played tons of ranked play in the past with individual players of just such high caliber. Like, how many times have we been carried by the likes of Merky, the likes of Pre, the likes of Gabby? They, you know, these players are just as good as any of the male players. So it's just this is a great year for this scene, and for Sakura League as well, to just really start to push through. And you know, we've talked about it before. You know, the ideal scenario for us is to see them push through into challenges and start to really, you know, make a name for themselves on the big stage, get into those top 16, top 8 positions, and start to see them in the elites, in the Challenger Cups, in the Pup Cups, everything, you know, that we expect to see of our top 8 and top 16 male teams. So, and then ultimately, you know, the idea is that they push on to the CDL and we see a bit more integration. And I just think it's great. And the thing is, I think obviously the saddest thing is that I think there's always been a huge contingent of female players that have wanted a competitive space that for themselves, and it's just never been there. And Hannah has done such a great job with the Sakura League. And you know, huge props to her for the work that she's done and the environment that is in there as well, because it's a great Discord as well.
Yeah, so there's an absolute bundle of talent in that, and they're only getting better. So what we'll do, guys, as we get our next series ready, we'll throw it to a break, we'll sort out all the graphics, all that good stuff, reset ourselves as we get some more Call of Duty action for the 1180 Sakura Cup on your screen.